Imagine, walking through the familiar chaos of Chapra's markets, maybe, or navigating the relentless energy of Kanpur's lanes. For years, the movie posters you'd see were pretty much standard Bollywood fare. But lately, well, something's definitely shifted. Now, right alongside the Khans and Kapoors, you're seeing these really intense eyes and fiery taglines for films like Pushpa, RRR, Salar. And they're not just hidden away, right? They're slap bang on auto rickshaws looking out from the chai stalls. It really feels like this incredible, vibrant cultural wave washing over the heartland. And that's exactly what we're plunging into today on the Deep Dive. This surprising, really powerful surge of Telugu cinema in North India and how it's kind of shaking up the whole landscape of Indian entertainment. You're here, I know, to get the full picture fast without getting bogged down. So let's try and unravel this fascinating story together.
Yeah, it's genuinely striking how quickly this has all taken hold. I mean, just picture the scene. Maybe 10 years back, the thought of, nearly 2 lakh people packing a venue in Patna, Bihar, just for a Telugu film trailer launch?
Yeah.
It would have sounded, almost absurd.
Totally absurd.
But fast forward to May this year, 2024, and that is precisely what happened for Pushpa 2, The Rule.
200,000 people, just for a glimpse. There was this film distributor, Ravi Shankar, he was right there, and his description was pretty vivid. He said it wasn't just fandom, it was a flat-out fever. He sounded genuinely taken aback by the sheer intensity, For a South Indian movie trailer causing a near stampede, as he put it, in Bihar, it really makes you reconsider how dramatically the whole entertainment scene has been recalibrated, and so quickly.
Absolutely. And it really forces us to question some, long-standing assumptions, doesn't it? For decades, Bollywood seemed to hold this unshakable position, right at the center of Indian cinema. What we're seeing now is, I think, a powerful demonstration that audiences all across India have this real thirst for different kinds of narratives, fresh approaches to storytelling.
Yeah, and while, we can't ignore the sheer visual spectacle, those slow-motion fight sequences definitely have a kind of magnetic pull, like pure cinematic candy almost.
Popcorn gold, yeah.
Exactly. But what our sources seem to suggest is that the connection runs, much deeper than just that. It's about narratives that really resonate emotionally. Heroes who, maybe despite their almost superhuman feats, still feel kind of grounded in the way audiences connect with.
That's a really key point, I think, especially when you contrast it with some of the directions Bollywood has explored more recently. There's been maybe a noticeable trend towards more urban, sometimes quite niche, experimental storytelling, almost like a lecture on existentialism sometimes, perhaps.
Maybe a bit.
Whereas Telugu cinema, it seems to tap into something more primal. You get this blend of grand, almost mythical narratives, really deeply felt emotional arcs, and of course those larger-than-life action sequences that, as one account amusingly put it, make you wonder if gravity just decided to take a holiday.
Okay, so let's dig into this a bit more. This Telugu takeover, as I saw someone call it. It wasn't exactly an overnight thing, was it? There's history here. It wasn't just Allu Arjun's swagger suddenly appearing out of nowhere.
Oh, precisely. No, the groundwork was definitely laid much earlier. You had figures like T. Rama Rao, for instance. Decades ago, he actually directed over 70 Hindi films. He was really skilled at merging those South Indian storytelling sensibilities with what would appeal to a broader Bollywood audience. One film scholar we looked at even described his work as a kind of fusion of masala, that mix of action, drama, music, but with real emotional depth, like a familiar, comforting dish, but served with an exciting new twist. He really helped set the stage.
So he was like a pioneer, an ambassador almost, bridging those cinematic worlds back then. And then you get someone like S.S. Rajamouli, who basically built a superhighway over that bridge, right? With global phenomena like Bahubali and RRR. These weren't just, box office hits. They became huge cultural touchstones. They completely transcended language barriers.
Exactly right. I mean, think about it. People who couldn't understand a single word of Telugu were still completely hooked, swept away by the sheer scale, the emotion of those films. Like one viewer shared, I didn't understand everything in RRR, but I felt it. And I think that's fundamental to their appeal. It's tapping into universal human emotions. No translation needed.
Which brings us right to the central question then. Why this incredibly fervent embrace, particularly in North India right now? What is it about these specific films that's making audiences in places like Gorakhpur or Rewa adopt these heroes as their own? Even calling Allu Arjun Pushpa Bhaiya, like a local figure?
Well, there seem to be several key factors playing out together. Firstly, as we sort of touched on, Telugu films really embrace a distinctly Indian sensibility in their storytelling, while Bollywood has perhaps at times leaned towards more westernized narrative structures. Telugu cinema seems to unapologetically celebrate the heartland. It offers these larger-than-life heroes a really strong emphasis on family values and, yeah, action sequences that deliver a pure adrenaline rush. This seems to resonate very deeply with audiences outside the big metro cities.
It's almost like they're serving up this rich, really flavorful cinematic feast.
Yeah.
Not holding back on the spice. Whereas maybe some recent Bollywood offerings felt a little, I don't know, bland in comparison for these specific audiences. And the box office numbers really tell that story, don't they? The information we've seen highlights how, especially post-pandemic, some big-budget Bollywood films kind of underperformed, while Telugu films like Pushpa and even Canada films like KGF achieved massive pan-Indian success. I mean, RRR's global earnings. Over 1,200 crore rupees. Compared to Bollywood's top earner in the same period, it really throws that power shift into sharp relief.
Precisely. It really boils down to resonance, I think.
Yeah.
Telugu films, with their huge emotions, the epic scale, those really energetic musical numbers, they seem to be giving North Indian audiences exactly the kind of entertainment they're craving right now. It's big, it's bold, and it's absolutely connecting.
Okay, but here's where the story takes another interesting twist. Bollywood isn't just like sitting on the sidelines watching this happen. They're actively joining the party. We're seeing really prominent Bollywood stars Alia, Bhatt, Ajay Devgn, and Sanjay Dutt taking on quite substantial roles in Telugu films. This isn't just a quick cameo. It feels like deeper collaboration.
Yes, and this signifies, I think, a real evolution in the power dynamics of Indian cinema. It's not just the stars either. Bollywood producers are also increasingly putting money into Telugu projects, recognizing the huge potential there. That traditional rivalry seems to be shifting maybe towards a more collaborative ecosystem. Like producer Del Raju put it quite well, it's about redefining Indian cinema as multilingual and truly national.
It's almost as if Bollywood, the established giant, is acknowledging the undeniable pull of this rising force from the South and seeing the mutual benefits of actually working together. Karan Johar's Dharma Productions distributing Telugu films, that's a perfect example of this emerging synergy, right? It's more than just business. It reflects a broader appreciation for different kinds of stories.
Exactly. And as film critic Taran Adarsh has pointed out, this collaboration is fundamentally about sharing stories and celebrating the diversity of Indian cinema. It feels like a move towards a more inclusive, more representative Indian film industry overall.
So what's the secret sauce here? What is it about Telugu cinema that holds this captivating power? Is it just, bigger budgets and fancier visual effects, or is there something more fundamentally magnetic going on?
It's definitely a combination of things. The scale of production, the advancements in VFX, they certainly add to the spectacle, no doubt. But at its heart, I really believe it's the power of the narrative. Telugu films often weave together these almost mythical storylines with really deeply felt emotional cores. They embrace a certain boldness of vibrancy. And yeah, sometimes a touch of the theatrical. It's like taking that classic masala formula, that potent mix of action, romance, comedy, drama, and just cranking the volume way up.
Yeah, think about Pushpa. It's not just the story of a sandalwood smuggler, is it? It digs into themes of ambition, fierce loyalty, the struggle against the odds. Or RRR, which reimagines historical figures within this grand, epic story of brotherhood and rebellion. These aren't just mindless action flicks. They have this strong emotional undercurrent that really lands.
Yeah.
And we absolutely cannot overlook the music, the sheer energy of it. Those soundtracks are instantly catchy. They just get stuck in your head.
Precisely. The music is such a crucial element. It really amps up the emotional impact and helps create that whole immersive cinematic experience. And like you said, these stories, while they might be deeply rooted in a specific cultural context, they tap into universal human experiences. The desire for success, the importance of relationships, fighting against injustice. That's probably why they manage to connect with audiences across so many different regions and cultural backgrounds.
So to really kind of crystallize this isn't just a fleeting trend, is it? It sounds much more like a fundamental reshaping of the cultural landscape. Telugu cinema is proving, pretty definitively I'd say, that regional doesn't mean niche anymore. For so long, Bollywood was kind of presented as the only face of Indian cinema, often overshadowing other really vibrant film industries.
That's such a crucial point to underline. Saying Indian cinema is just Bollywood, I mean, it's like saying a complex, multi-layered biryani is just plain rice. It completely misses the richness, the complexity of the whole thing. India's cinematic tapestry is incredibly diverse, and Telugu cinema's current success is just brilliantly highlighting that fact. It's showing that a compelling story from Hyderabad can totally captivate audiences in Haryana, effectively dismantling those sort of artificial linguistic and regional barriers.
It's democratizing the box office, isn't it? Showing that Hindi isn't the only language that can deliver massive nationwide hits. And this appeal isn't just within India's borders either. The South Asian diaspora around the globe is also embracing these films really enthusiastically. I mean, Bahubali's incredible international success really drove home the point that these stories, while deeply rooted in Indian culture, can have truly universal appeal.
Yes, they somehow manage that powerful combination being both deeply culturally specific and at the same time universally relatable. That's a really potent formula for success on a global stage. They offer this vibrant taste of India that seems to resonate strongly with audiences everywhere, both at home and abroad.
Of course, keeping this incredible momentum going, well, that won't be without its challenges, surely. The insights we've gathered definitely touch upon the hurdles Telugu filmmakers might face in this newly expanded pan-Indian market. I mean, not every single film can replicate the massive success of something like Pushpa.
That's a very valid point. There's a whole new level of expectation now. Audiences in the North have tasted this certain kind of high-octane, emotionally resonant storytelling with strong visuals, unforgettable music. As one distributor shrewdly observed, regular love stories or black magic tales won't cut it anymore. The bar has definitely been raised significantly.
And it's not just about the films themselves, right? It's also about how they're presented, how they're promoted. Just relying on the traditional Mumbai-centric press tours probably won't be enough to really connect deeply with audiences in Delhi or UP or Bihar. There needs to be a more direct, maybe more localized approach to reach those viewers effectively.
Absolutely. Understanding the nuances of these different regional markets, tailoring the promotion strategies, that's going to be essential for sustained success, I think. As one producer noted, it's about kind of understanding the tastes of Hindi film viewers and catering to that, but while staying true to the core essence, the distinct appeal of Telugu cinema itself.
And this increasing trend of collaboration with Bollywood, you mentioned the producers, but also more top Bollywood actresses like Deepika Padukone, Kiara Advani, Janvi Kapoor taking roles in Telugu films. That seems like a pretty strategic move in this direction, too. Offers familiar faces, perhaps, to draw in a wider audience.
That's undoubtedly a key element in this whole evolving picture. As producer Vishnuvardhan Induri put it, having those top-tier Hindi actresses adds significant pan-India appeal. It kind of creates a bridge for audiences who might be less familiar with Telugu stars, while also giving exciting new platforms to these actresses. Producer Del Raju sees this as really integral to redefining Indian cinema as genuinely national and multilingual. And Tana Adarsh, again, emphasizes that, at its heart, it's just about the shared love of storytelling and celebrating the sheer richness of Indian cinematic diversity.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the amazing rise of Telugu cinema in North India, the main takeaway seems undeniable. This is way more than just a passing fad. It really signifies a profound cultural shift happening within Indian entertainment. It's challenging Bollywood's long-held dominance and powerfully showing how compelling stories can just smash through linguistic and regional barriers. It's like the Indian cinematic thali is suddenly showcasing a much wider and frankly more exciting array of flavors.
Precisely. Couldn't have put it better. The incredible success of Telugu cinema really underscores the democratizing power of storytelling. It proves that a captivating narrative from pretty much any corner of India can resonate across the whole nation. It powerfully illustrates that Hindi is no longer the only language for box office triumph, and it truly celebrates the rich, vibrant tapestry of all Indian cinematic traditions.
Yeah, and it really makes you think, doesn't it, about the future path of Indian cinema in this increasingly interconnected world. How will these collaborations keep evolving? What kinds of fresh, exciting stories are going to emerge from this fascinating cultural exchange? Is definitely a space to watch with keen interest. And it leaves you pondering, the incredible power of a good story to connect us all, no matter where we come from or what language we speak.